Mikel Arteta has got a tough job on his hands at Arsenal, so here are 5 transfer moves that he could make in January. First up, and it's clear that midfield needs to be sorted out, so I'm going to go for one player out, and that is Granit Xhaka. I know at times he looks like he's the one who's got the passion in the Arsenal midfield. He obviously used to be captain, worked his way back from a rather daunting position, had the captain's armband taken away from him. But still, I'm just not quite sure what he brings to this Arsenal team. He's a good passer, he's not very mobile in the midfield, and a lot of teams with quicker midfielders play around him. He's not quite at the level of Thomas Partey or the level where Arsenal really want to be. For me, Xhaka kind of represents the old Arsenal. Like, he did have some potential when he first came in, but now him, Ceballos as well, who really isn't that great, aren't necessarily fulfilling what a midfielder should for the Gunners. They need someone who's going to not only take the ball from the defence, which he does a lot, but then once he's played it forwards, continue getting forwards with the move, continue to build up the play, provide assists, provide goals. Like, if they need someone to sit and be the defensive option, that's what Thomas Partey can do. But Xhaka really does not need to be sitting so deep. They need more help from midfield, and one of them could be a transfer in. So we're going to get rid of Xhaka, and the second transfer decision they can make would be to bring in Houssem Aouar. Now, for reasons not of their own doing, they weren't able to bring the player over to the Emirates at the end of the summer transfer window. Apparently, there were some issues with money. They didn't want to pay so much. The Lyon president didn't want to let him go. He held on to both Aouar and Depay, but it looks like the midfielder still could be leaving the club. Of course, they're going to have a bit of a battle for him, especially with Juventus reportedly interested in the attacking midfielder. But if Arsenal can sign him, this would be an absolute game changer. Like I said, he's comfortable on the ball, can score, can assist. He's very good in tight positions. He can get forward and be more of a creative force rather than Arsenal just playing it out wide and hoping with all of their crosses that one of them comes off. Especially with a failing in front of goal Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, it doesn't look like putting in even more crosses is going to help solve the situation. Alongside this, there's Dominic Szoboszlai. I probably pronounced his name wrong. Do I think he'd be just as good for Arsenal? Absolutely. Do I think they've got a chance to sign him if any other team is interested? Probably not. There's rumours that sister club RB Leipzig and Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are all front runners for his signature, and no offence, I just can't see Arsenal offering more, both financially and in terms of prospects, to what those big clubs can offer. Third decision though, and it's getting rid of Hector Bellerin. I've been saying it for such a long time now. The guy just did not fulfill his potential. When he's 16, 17 years old, coming into the Arsenal team for the Barcelona Academy, he's quick. Everyone's excited. Everyone's like, oh, he's a good player. He's doing the simple things right. Fantastic. But now we're like 9, 10 years down the line. He's had injuries and he's still not turned into a top right back. Like, all of his potential, you would have thought he'd be the best in the world. I think he even said in an interview that in 5-6 years time, this is like 2012 or something, he wants to be one of the best right backs in the world. Right now, he's not even close to being the best right back in the Premier League. He just really is not proving himself to be anything more than an average right back, and that's not going to take Arsenal to the next level. They do have a lot of defensive issues, but right back especially is such a massive problem, especially on top of this, when you consider the fact they haven't really got anyone to get into his position if he's not there. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, for whatever reason, either doesn't have a set position or just cannot get in ahead of him, and there's no competition for places. So with Hector Bellerin out, the fourth transfer decision, bring in Tariq Lamptey. There is a guy with potential, and yes, he is a young player with pace, just like Hector Bellerin was, but he's proving himself to be much more than that. Going forward, he is an absolute threat, winning penalties, getting assists, and on top of this, he's very good defensively, and he's got more room to grow. I think bringing him in, he would be a starter, but on top of this, he'd also just give the rest of the team a lift. He's that exciting young player that could definitely get the Arsenal fans off of their chairs when more of them are back in the stadium. And coming from Brighton, they've just signed him. I think they'd be able to get him for a reasonable transfer fee. The former Chelsea man was signed by Graham Potter's men in January. He had a good second half to last season, a brilliant start to this season, if you take away his red card. And yeah, like I mentioned before, I don't think they're going to be breaking the bank when it comes to signing the youngster.
Before we move on to the next one though, make sure you smash that subscribe button and stay up to date with everything we got going on OneFootball.
And the fifth decision on this list, sort out the Mesut Ozil situation. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, and this one's kind of annoying me. Either he's good enough to play for the club, in which case bring him in, or he's not. or sort out his contract, or sell him, or all the other rumours that are flying about. Just do something. Like, I know in the last few years it looks like Ozil's down tools, maybe he's not really a good fit for the club and the system that Arteta wants to play anymore, but you just cannot have a player on 300, 350k a week just sitting there, not like he's sat on the bench and he hasn't quite found the right game to put him into, but not even registered in the squad. Literally just sitting there doing nothing, claiming an insane amount of money. If they don't even want him, and they're going to get rid of him, then at least they can put that wage to good use. And I'm not talking about giving Aubameyang more money. I'm talking about bringing in some new exciting players. If they are, like I said earlier in this list, to go for the likes of Szoboszlai or Houssem, Aouar, they're going to need quite a lot of money to attract them per week. You don't have to give them Ozil's 350, just give them like 150, 200 of that. I'm sure that'll be more than enough to tempt them to the Emirates Stadium. So there you have it, 5 potential transfer moves for Arsenal in January. You guys let me know your thoughts down below, and until next time, I will see you guys later.